This is a test for us going live to see exactly how my two Mevo starts work in a live stream environment. So I'm recording live right now as we speak. I'm also here to try to answer a couple of questions that were on my simple live stream video that you guys have asked. Okay. Uh, excuse me. Also, this is a two-purpose, two-part video. One is the live stream, which I'll put a link down below so you guys can actually see what the live stream looked like recorded live to YouTube. And second, this video, which you're watching, is actually recorded off the live stream and edited to add in little bits and pieces just to see what it looks like from a recording from my tablet onto back up to YouTube. You know, basically, that's how it works. Okay, first off, let me describe exactly what I'm doing right now for this live stream. I've got two Mevo Start cameras, one back there, one right there that you're looking at right now, sitting on me. They're on a couple of light stands with a couple of ball heads to adjust them. It's not a big deal. These are streaming via my Wi-Fi at home. I'm in my backyard. So they're both on the Wi-Fi, and I'm using the multi-camera in auto director mode. So that's what's switching back and forth automatically. And the multicam I'm switching from an Android tablet so that I can actually see, you know, how things are going. I can actually switch the multicam, as you can see, switching back and forth, switch, just so that I can actually play with it here. I haven't played with the multicam too much, but that's what part of this test is. Okay, let me go ahead and answer a couple of questions. One question that I've got on the simple live stream video was, why do I have the A10 Mini attached to the YOLOBox Pro in that system? One reason was to see if I could. And I can, and it's really kind of nice. I use it to actually add in an extra source or 4 extra sources into the YOLOBox via the USB-C in on the YOLOBox from the A10 Mini. If I ever needed it, I could add 4 more video sources in there. And actually, the way I would play with it, I would use the A10 Mini to be my camera sources going into the YOLOBox, and using YOLOBox to be my video playback device as well as streaming device. I like the way the YOLOBox is very compact and it works really well. In the live stream, simple live stream video, not so simple live stream video, you know, I like to use I put the Mini in there just to see if I could, and it worked fine. I've used it once or twice already. I had some clients that actually had a couple of extra cameras to use, and we've rolled that in there. Okay, and it worked really, really well. The live stream was coming from the cameras were coming from the A10 Mini. In the YOLOBox, I had a couple of video inputs, SD card recordings, and a couple of inputs coming in from computers. So the latency thing wasn't an issue there. Audio was going directly into one of the cameras and then into the YOLOBox, so therefore everything was actually in sync. It was really kind of a simple, neat thing to do. Okay, that worked. Another question was, I keep getting this all the time, how much did my gear cost? How much is that whole package put together? The answer is, right now, I don't know. I've collected this gear and bought this gear over a long period of time. When I first started this whole video production business, if you will, it started off as a hobby, and I started off with one camera, an old Canon T2i. And then from there I went to a Canon 6D. From there I went to 2 Canon 6Ds. And then I sold those and went to a GH5, a Panasonic GH5, and then a GH5S, and then another GH5S. So I had 3 cameras running there, and it was mainly for narrative and video production work. From there, I kind of went off into the live stream gig and looked around for different cameras that were available and sold those GH5s and bought the Sony AX700s. The AX700s are great cameras. I love them. They're simple. They are video cameras. They're not DSLRs. They don't have interchangeable lenses, but the battery power works really, really well. I had previously purchased the Liebeck THX tripods to work with the GH5s, and they work beautifully. So I just kept those, and used those with the Sony cameras. Prior to the lockdowns for COVIDs, I had purchased a Sling Studio device to test out. And I liked the Sling Studio device. It worked out really well, but you had this big bulky unit that just sat there. And you connected it via either the camera links, which were little wireless transmitters that fit on top of my cameras, or I could have used iPhones or Android phones to bring video sources in. And that's cool and all, but I didn't want to have to deal with the fiddliness of iPads, iPhones, Android phones to bring video in. I like the idea of using a real camera like the AX700 or the GH5s. Another problem that I personally had with the Sling Studio was that you had to do it from an iPad. So, there is an extra device that you had to carry around and deal with and play with, which, okay, but you had the setup of the Sling Studio device itself, the cameras with all their camera inputs and everything else going in. It was a lot to carry around and a lot to set up. Then lockdown occurred, and when the lockdown happened, I needed to have multiple camera inputs at home. I am a teacher, that's my real job, and I was doing virtual learning from home. So I was teaching my class from home. So what I needed to do was to have a camera on me so the students can see me at home. I had a document camera that they could see what I was working on, and I wanted to be able to switch in a computer while having another computer up and running so I can actually have other information on there that I didn't really need to share with the students. So I bought myself an A10 Mini, and that worked like a charm. I had a camera on me hooked in as one of the inputs, another Chromebook computer actually as a second input, and a third input was an HDMI input from a document camera that I had available to me. So now I had three separate systems, three separate inputs to switch when I taught my class via Google Meet. It worked great. I loved it. And I decided to go from there into the A10 Mini Pro because of the webcam out, the recording features. There were a number of other features that were available on that. And I can still keep that because sometimes that actually is a better way to go. Then a number of months ago, I got into the YOLO Box Pro. I love the YOLO Box Pro. The fact that it's compact and all-in-one system, I don't need an external device to run it or record or whatever. It's perfect. It is really a nice system to use. And the fact that I can combine it with anything else and bring in my own cameras and my own transmitters, the Hollyland 400S HDMI transmitters, it really makes it quite a simple setup. And I love it, and I actually do use it a lot for a lot of different live streams. They work great. I mean, it's just a really nice system. It's a lot to set up. It really isn't a lot. It's all the same thing set up. No one have different setups the way I go. And I can usually do it by myself. I like to have somebody, I like to have a production assistant around to help me, set up and pack up and run a camera. But sometimes that's not available. But it really is a great system, something that you really should look into. Now, throw that all in together, the cost, well, I'm going to let you figure it out because the prices were different. I mean, each camera was about $2,000. The YOLO box was about $1,200. You have the tripods, which were about $300-400 each. You have the microphone systems, which I bought a long time ago, which were a couple of like $300-400 each. You need to go on the live stream. I do believe I have it all listed out, all the equipment that I use there, including batteries and everything else. You can go ahead and figure it out in your locale how much that actually is. In the long run, it does end up being a lot of money. And so I wouldn't go out and buy that immediately, because that doesn't make sense. Like I said, I accumulated all that equipment over the course of a long time, over the course of multiple years. And I think a lot of people do accumulate gear that way. And so in the end, the cost wasn't that much for me, but in the long run, you start putting it all together. Yes, it is expensive. I don't think I could get the original purchase price out of all that gear if I tried to sell it now as is, because it has been used. It's been well loved, actually. So it's actually a pretty good system. Now, this system I'm using today, the Mevo cameras, Mevo Starts, Mevo Multicam on the tablet. This is something that is really quite interesting, that I like. This I would use mainly what I'm doing right now, something for my YouTube channel. Easy way to get up and stream, something that doesn't require a lot of graphics, something that doesn't require video roll-ins, something that doesn't really require separate audio. I am using a Rode Wireless Go 2 microphone right now to go into one of the cameras back there, so we can actually hear me nicely, out here. But it's easy to set up. I like that. It's simple to carry around. I can take the cameras, I can throw them in a bag, I can take the tablet, throw that in the bag, and just run. And if the whim suits me wherever I am, I can set up and stream directly from my device, which I really love. Now, one of the things I'm also testing is the idea of using this tablet right here. This is a Samsung S7 FE, S7 Plus FE, something like that, Android tablet. I wanted to use it to see exactly how it would work, mainly because I tried using my phone prior to this, and I have an Android phone, and while it had space enough to record a nice stream, the audio and the video weren't in sync for some reason. My phone was updated to Android 12, this device is Android 12, and now everything seems to actually be in sync, so I don't really have a problem with this. So I can carry this system around with me in a small bag almost, and throw it in the car, throw the light stands in a car, and just kind of leave them there. Take my cameras in and out as I go, and do what I have to do. Like I said, on a whim, it'd be perfect. It would really be a nice thing to do. One of the things I'm testing, like I said, with this tablet device, I wanted to see if this would be a little bit better. But in the long run, I think I'm going to go back to just my phone, because I can keep that in my pocket the whole time. And I'm going to send this tablet back. I don't think I need it. I think it might have been it was a good idea to test it to see if it would work. But I think in the long run, I'm going to get rid of it, because I don't need to have this extra device right now. If I have auto director on, like I'm doing now, having the camera switch automatically back and forth, I can still let the phone do that and let it sit in my pocket or sit it on the ground and not have to worry about it. And then I can actually stream directly from the phone. Hello, Maggie. How are you? Okay. This is Maggie. She's my puppy dog. But I can actually stream directly from the phone using the phone's data from there. Here, I'm doing it through my house Wi-Fi. But from the phone, I can do it directly from the phone and still record from it. So this is an extra device that I don't need, and I will be getting rid of it. If you all have any other questions, please feel free to ask. Like I said, this video will be edited and uploaded alongside the actual complete live stream that I'm doing now, with all my ums and ahs and everything else in it. Because I'm not a professional on-camera talent. You could see I'm not that pretty a guy, but I like talking about this equipment. I like talking about these setups and getting these things done. So, like I said, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Post them in the comments. Like and subscribe wherever the button is. And thanks, y'all. I appreciate it. And I'll talk to you later.